Hello, I'm going to just fly on faith that something will unfold the way it's supposed to. So the next thing can do its thing, and each successive domino can go further and further if we have to send it somewhere. Well, welcome. I'm Santosh. This is Psychic Sleep, guided meditations, as well as messages from in between, which is sort of my forecast from beyond, which comes with an inspired illustration and a little bit of penned wit, if I could ever eke some out. And the practices that we do, the visualizations are rooted in that expression, that folding in of all of my passions, as many as I can fold into it. It's not stopping here. But let's take this new toy for a spin. By the way, please, if you haven't started relaxing, start relaxing. And you can do that as you listen, or you can delegate a part of yourself to relax for you. As we turn our attention to the art for message from in between this week, in this scene we see Lance at a fry truck that is being operated by a dragon somewhere in the fair. I actually was talking to a friend about this. I wonder if that might be hints of a dark carnival in the distance there. So, just planting seeds for future fun. But as will make much more sense when I read what I wrote in conjunction with this, I just needed to start divorcing myself from this seriousness that I had settled into and let settle onto me. And so, the past 2 weeks of art have taken longer than normal. I've gotten a little obsessive over different aspects of it, and so I needed to start pulling my perspective back out. I think maybe I'd gotten a little too focused. And hopefully that's accompanying the inspiration for a thread for us to follow. I don't want to promise things when I don't know if they'll actually come to be, but I'm just saying. This one was there to inspire me again. The message from our message from in between this week is titled Silly Muscle Gains. Being super serious for long stretches of time takes its toll on mind and body. Be sure to take a silly break. Gradually up the dose from there, appropriately. Heavy questions of what's the point and where's the meaning can be sidestepped with a well-executed rubber chicken joke. Absurdism is great for tempering nihilism. By the time an idea for a dragon-powered French fry machine becomes a dragon-owned small business fry truck, the mind will have created and destroyed worlds, each filled with silly and serious scenarios only seeming to be minimally connected with whatever woe was preoccupying the mind beforehand. Paradox abounds, and metaphors love a good turn, a good twist. But comedy is a scalpel. Silly doesn't have to make sense. It's nonsensical. Oftentimes, the less sense we expect the world to make, the better off we end up emotionally. And that's not to forego personal responsibility, safety, etc., etc. But just remember, laughter is capable of being both helpful and harmful. Well, hurtful. In a world that makes less and less sense, jumping out of established ruts takes an extra condensed burst of energy and effort. So, haters be damned. Our friend discernment, or viveka in Sanskrit, lets us know which lanes to stay in and which tracts need to be crossed. This week's 3-card draw is the 8 of Chalices, the Elder of Chalices, and the 10 of Chalices, inviting us to consider, holy moly, there's lots of cup energy stepping into the light. Big emotions and opportunities for emotional journey work ahead. Spend your precious inner resources wisely. Celebrate something. It counters the dark time. This session of Psychic Sleep will be touching on themes of silliness, nonsense, and discernment. Maybe, if that's the way creativity decides to flow to us and through us this evening. And now, hopefully, yay, there is a video of a little waterfall a friend had taken me to. Thought that might be a nice visual background as we sort of go deeper in our practice. Our relaxation training. And if you haven't already, let the breath become smoother and deeper. And deeper and smoother. Bigger, more pleasurable. It's the only thing we need to focus on for a moment. Also, if you would like to close your eyes and feel safe to do so, then feel free. If you'd rather zone out to the video or just put this on as some positive background noise, hopefully positive, hopefully beneficial, based in the concept of Yoga Nidra and the thought, the yogic yogic philosophic stance that we are made of several sheaths, like layers of an onion, and that stress can kind of get stored at that frequency on those levels in that layer, and, well, the act and the art of meditation does all the things. But this helps us touch back in with the koi pond that is our mind. I'm hoping to put more flowing water video that I have collected for so long and wanted to put something to, and thought, why not? Since I'm playing around in a platform based around visual media, perhaps just give something for the mind to light on for a moment. Take a breath. And when letting it go, letting something else go that we didn't need to be holding on to anymore. And as we keep breathing and sinking, as we sink our breath and our visualizations, that the body is headed towards a more relaxed state while the mind is staying awake, witnessing. And if at any point this feels too deep or too much, just find your breath. Find your body, find your practice. And maybe some of us need to be reminded to shield in our current environment. Adding a layer of protection, if one likes those kinds of things. Breathing in and breathing out. Imagine yourself surrounded by a silver mist. A fine silver mist that, as you breathe in, brings with it vitality, prana, beneficial energy. So many names. Drawing that in, and then letting that silver glow spread through the body as you exhale. Inhaling fine silver mist. Exhaling and watching it make the body glow. If you would like an extra layer of complexity, count your breaths backwards from 27 to naught. Watching as you draw in that silver breath of life and exhale and see it glow within. If you get lost, if you finish early, simply start over at 27 or simply stay with the breath and imagine as feels most comfortable and right for you in this moment. Where are you? Where's your practice? Inhaling the silver mist, exhaling and glowing. Or shining. And whether you've finished your count or not, letting this go. letting this go and concentrating the awareness towards the feeling of the energy within settling. As if someone were shaking the sides of a plastic tub filled with water. Or maybe crashing waves. Or maybe a simple sloshing might feel more fun for you in this moment as you let those energies settle. And imagining if the internal waters were to settle, how would that feel for you? Would that feel tranquil, peaceful, enjoyable? I was wondering why there was so much water imagery, and then I thought about all of those chalices. The ones that you see in tarot, the ones that are brimming with emotional energy. So can we imagine waters that are both tranquil and energized? What might that feel like? And now, sticking with our water theme, imagine a white crescent moon. Tattva of water. And imagine that moonlight that you're imagining is cast down onto your waters. I wanted to say tranquil waters, but are they tranquil as the moon shines on them? Then imagine those waters are now part of a huge cauldron, or giant metal bowl, if you will. And you place a multicolored fire underneath it, and in this cauldron is a moving liquid that will dissolve whatever you put into it. So, something that's been bothering you, throw it in the cauldron. Watch it be absorbed into the contents as they respond to the heat, dancing and undulating and then shooting up a puff of colored smoke. And as that smoke clears, you can brush it away with a gentle breeze in your mind, or stronger if you prefer, and feel that burden, that bother, that worry that you had fed the cauldron dissipate as the smoke dissipates. Transformed so it will not bother anyone or anything else. Spreading pleasantly like incense. And if you haven't already, think of another bother. Maybe a little fear. And drop a representation of that fear into the cauldron. That could be an object. That could be a imaginary photograph in your mind that represents what you want to toss into the cauldron. Or if you would like, you can scale the cauldron to the size that you need and throw anything and everything in. Becoming absorbed slowly, steadily by the concoction within. Maybe your colors shift. Maybe the intensity of the light shifts. But it's easy to feel something shift and then poof, colored smoke. Similar and different to the one before. Maybe a little thicker. Maybe a little darker. Maybe something else entirely. And watch it dissipate. And if it doesn't want to go so quickly, turn on an imaginary fan. Till that puff of smoke is no more. And will this undo a problem? Perhaps not, but in starting to energetically sever ourselves from certain things, we are introducing that concept as an option. Just making sure there's no colored smoke lingering, that you've blown it all away. And to keep doubling down on some water elements, maybe you can hear the sound of a spritzer, like a room freshener spray. And our friend water is working with our friend air to absorb any dusty particles of that colored smoke that needs to be absolutely gone, and so we're just giving another round of cleaning to the concept. And letting the big metal cooking pot go, allow yourself to just do nothing for the next few moments. I'll let you know when the time has passed. But relaxing with the exhales, adjusting your internal levels, allowing the thoughts to come, allowing the thoughts to go. It's not your job to stop them, not your job to judge them, not your job to change them, not your job to indulge them. So do nothing. Don't even engage with thought. Just watch them come, watch them go. From here in your Chittakash, your mind space. Where's your practice? And letting that go, imagine sometime in the week ahead, you allow yourself to laugh. To laugh at the absurdity of things, to laugh instead of cry, to laugh and cry. But imagine how your week would go if you just let the silly out a little bit. Controlled bursts. Nothing as daring as in public or something even scarier than that just doesn't occur to me at the moment. Could you then imagine you venting that steam, causing you to come to a potential problem with different resources? Without expounding crushing weight. And it might not work for every situation that occurs, but there's probably a few where you're already like, yeah. Being able to laugh it off would serve me very well here, here, and here. And you can go further down the timeline seeing those scenarios playing out in your favor. Why? Well, just in case it stacks the deck. When things are in our awareness, we can become aware of them. So just being open to the thought of letting yourself have a chuckle. Not at someone's expense, but, well, that's the best part about silliness. It could happen anytime, anywhere, over anything. And all of a sudden you're transported in your imagination to something wonderfully silly, laughable, and how good it feels just after a long laugh. Feels good after a short laugh too, but allowing yourself to be open to the possibility of surprising joy and what that might feel like. For those of you headed off to slumber, sweet dreams, feel good, feel well, be happy, and blessings on your way. You can tune out this next part, which is for those of us that need to come back out of any altered state we may have succeeded in achieving. So, those of us will take our awareness to the breath and the sensation at the nostrils. One of the easiest access ports back in, feeling the cool air coming in and the warmer air going back out. Cool air in, warm air out. And on the back of the in-breath, filling the body once again with life as you wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, wiggle the face, wiggle the nose. Rock the neck gently. And find yourself back to a seated position. A comfortable seated position. Hari Om Tat Sat, friends. That feels like the conclusion of the evening. Thank you for participating with this whenever, wherever. I don't want to say however. But thank you. I appreciate you being a part of this journey, and I am honored that you would let me be a part of yours. All right. Feel good. Feel well. Be happy.